There are 4 numbers stamped on the side of your tire that tell you whether it is safe. Almost nobody reads them. Those 4 numbers are the week and the year that tire was built. And a tire with full tread, a tire that looks brand new, with tread deep enough to pass any inspection in the country, can come apart at highway speed because the rubber inside it is 9 years old. The part of a tire that fails from age is buried between the steel belts, where you cannot see it, where tread depth tells you absolutely nothing. You have probably heard that tires expire after 6 years. You have probably also heard 10. Both of those numbers are real. Both of them come from companies that build cars and tires, and neither one of them is the law. There is no federal tire expiration date in the United States. What those 2 numbers actually are, who they came from, and why nobody is required to tell you how old the tire in your hand really is the part almost nobody explains. Start with the code itself, because everything else depends on it. Federal regulation, Part 574, requires every new tire sold in this country to carry a tire identification number molded into the sidewall. It begins with the letters DOT. The last 4 digits of that sequence are the date. The first 2 are the week of the year from 01 through 52. The last 2 are the year. So a tire stamped 3319 was built in the 33rd week of 2019, late August. That is the entire code. It takes about 10 seconds to read once you know where to look. Here is the first trap. The regulation requires the full identification number on one sidewall. 1, not both. On an enormous number of tires, the complete code with the date is molded on the inboard side, the side facing the car, the side you cannot see standing in your driveway. NHTSA says this outright in its own consumer guidance. Look on both sides of the tire because the number may not be on both. If you check the outside face, find a partial code, and walk away satisfied, you have not actually checked anything. Second trap. If the tire is older than the year 2000, the date code is 3 digits, not 4. 2 digits for the week, 1 digit for the year within that decade, which means a 3-digit code cannot tell you which decade it came from without more context. If you are looking at a spare in a truck you just bought and the code has 3 digits, that tire is at minimum a quarter century old. It should not be on the vehicle. So why does age matter at all if the tread is deep and the tire looks fine? This is where the story stops being about paperwork. A radial tire is not one piece of rubber, it is layers. And the critical ones are 2 steel belts running under the tread, bonded together by a thin layer of rubber called skim rubber, with a wedge of rubber at the belt edges. That bond is what keeps the tread attached to the tire. Oxygen and heat attack that internal rubber over time in a process called thermo-oxidative degradation. Published research in the journal Polymer Degradation and Stability by Baldwin and Bauer documented what happens chemically. The rubber gets harder and stiffer, and it loses peel strength and the ability to stretch. Cracks that would normally stop start propagating. They travel along the belt edge, between the belts, until the tread separates from the tire. NHTSA described the same 2 mechanisms in its own report, Tire Aging, a summary of NHTSA's work, published in March of 2014. The chemical one, heat and oxygen working on the rubber compound. And the mechanical one, cyclic fatigue every time the tire flexes. And the agency stated the consequence plainly in that document. The effect of aging may not be visibly detectable. A tire's integrity may be compromised even though it shows a great deal of remaining tread. Read that again, because it is the whole reason this video exists. The government's own position is that you cannot see this coming. The agency did not arrive at that conclusion from a laboratory alone. Its tire aging test development project pulled roughly 493 in-service tires out of Phoenix, Arizona, starting in the spring of 2003, and ran them to destruction on test wheels. The results went to Congress in a report numbered DOT-HS 810799 in August of 2007. Time to failure dropped as tires got older and accumulated more miles. Phoenix was chosen deliberately for its heat, because heat is the accelerant. And there is a number buried in that research that should change how you think about where you live. An insurance company provided the agency with its own claims data. 27% of that insurer's policyholders lived in Texas, California, Louisiana, Florida, and Arizona. 77% of its tire claims came from those 5 states, and 84% of those claims involved tires more than 6 years old. That is a claims pattern, not a controlled study, and it should not be presented as proof of causation. But the shape of it is unmistakable. Heat is doing something to tires in the southern half of this country. Which brings us back to the 2 numbers, 6 and 10, and to the question of who is actually telling you what. The 6-year figure comes from the people who build cars. Ford, Nissan, Mercedes-Benz, Chrysler, and General Motors have all recommended replacing tires at roughly 6 years, regardless of tread depth. Ford added that recommendation to its website and to every owner's manual in its 2006 model line after conducting its own tire aging research. The 10-year figure comes from the people who build tires. Michelin's technical bulletin on service life recommends that tires 10 years or older from the date of manufacture, including spares, be replaced as a simple precaution, even if they appear serviceable and even if they have never reached the legal wear limit. Continental recommends replacing tires over 10 years old based on the date stamp. Bridgestone's limited warranties cut off coverage at 10 years from the date of manufacture. Notice that not one of those is a law. Not one of them is enforced by anyone. And here is where it gets genuinely strange, because Continental, in the same breath as its 10-year recommendation, states that it is not aware of any technical data supporting the removal of tires from service at a specific age. Michelin's language is similar. These companies are recommending a limit while declining to say the limit is scientifically established. That is not a contradiction anybody is hiding. It is the actual state of the argument, and the industry's trade group makes its side of it openly. The USTMA position is that accurately predicting the serviceable life of any specific tire based on calendar age alone is not possible. The Old Rubber Manufacturers Association ran a study in 2005, inspecting more than 14,000 scrap tires across 7 states, and reported no correlation between age and the reason tires came out of service. Their general counsel's summary at the time was that the data showed no magic date when tires are removed from service. And the regulator, NHTSA, looked at all of it and declined to act. In that same March 2014 document, the agency wrote that it does not believe it is necessary for motor vehicle safety to add a tire aging requirement to its light vehicle tire standard. Its reasoning was that the newer tire standard, FMVSS 139, produced tougher tires, and that mandatory tire pressure monitoring required on new vehicles from September of 2007 cut down on the underinflation that cooks tires from the inside. So no expiration date was ever written into federal law, and as of today, none exists. Now, before anyone brings up the obvious counterexample, let us deal with it directly, because it is the single most misused story in this entire subject. In August of 2000, roughly 6.5 million Firestone tires were recalled, most of them fitted to Ford Explorers. Tread separations, rollovers, deaths. That episode is invoked constantly as proof that old tires kill people. It is not that story. NHTSA's investigation traced that failure to design and manufacturing problems with one plant in Decatur, Illinois, heavily implicated, made worse by heat, load, and a low recommended inflation pressure on the vehicle. Those tires were defective when they left the factory. Aging made a defective tire fail sooner. It was not ordinary rubber aging on its own schedule. If someone tells you Firestone proves tires expire, they are describing a different failure. Which leads to the question you would expect to have a clean answer, and does not. How many Americans die every year specifically because a tire was too old? Nobody actually knows. There is no reliable government count isolating tire aging as a cause. NHTSA produced an estimate years ago drawn from crash databases, but the agency qualified it heavily. It applied only to tires built before the modern standard. And its own statistician told the National Transportation Safety Board that the underlying database was a weak foundation for claims about tire crash trends. There is a far more dramatic number in circulation, in the low hundreds of fatalities, and it comes from a safety consulting firm that compiled it from lawsuits and media reports. It is an advocacy tally, not a federal statistic, and its own author acknowledged years ago that it was not scientifically valid. So the honest version is this: the mechanism is real and documented. The count is not. And anyone selling you a number to the nearest fatality is selling you something. Here is what you can verify yourself today without trusting anyone. The tire on your car has a date on it. Go read it. If the code on the outer sidewall is incomplete, get down and check the inboard side. Do this on all four and then do it on the spare, because the spare is the one that never gets checked and never wears out. NHTSA's own guidance recommends that a full-size spare not be used as a replacement for worn tires, except in an emergency, precisely because spares age quietly in the dark. If you own a low-mileage car, a weekend car, a classic, a travel trailer, or an RV that sits 11 months a year, the calendar is the only clock that matters on those tires. Tread will never tell you when to replace them because tread will still be there when the rubber has given up. And if you are buying tires, ask for the date code before the installer mounts them. There is no federal law requiring a retailer to disclose how old a tire is at the point of sale. An ABC News investigation that aired in May of 2008 sent hidden cameras into national tire retailers and found tires as much as 9 to 12 years old being sold as new. Those were journalistic findings, not court rulings, but the underlying fact is simply true. Tires sit in warehouses and on shelves, and the date code is the only thing standing between you and buying a decade-old tire at a new tire price. 4 numbers, 10 seconds. It is the cheapest safety check you will ever perform on your vehicle, and it is the one nobody teaches you. If this was useful, subscribe, because this channel spends its time on the parts of car ownership that cost you money and nobody explains. And here is the next one you should watch. If your vehicle is all-wheel drive and you have ever replaced a single damaged tire while leaving the other 3 alone, there is a component under your car that may already be destroying itself, and the repair bill runs into the thousands. That video is on the screen now.